And tonight's call is not really about me. It's about an incredible woman who I look up to, who has been my mentor and my coach for the past 3 years in having tremendous success with my health journey, with my weight loss journey. To tell you a little bit about her, she is the owner and founder of Iconic Physique. And she is a personal trainer, nutritional coach, a hormone coach. Tamara, I'm going to mess it all up. So I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about what you do. But I want to just welcome, before we get started and I bring you on, I want to just really welcome everyone to our call. We have so many amazing people from all across the globe. Canada, I know we got Kitchener in the house, Toronto in the house, Vancouver in the house, Montreal in the house. And of course, Quebec is in the house. We got Singapore, we got Philippines, we got Trinidad, Tobago, we got Thailand, we got Israel in the house tonight. We got, who else? What country did I miss? I don't want to miss any countries. We got Australia in the house. Wow, wow, wow. And of course, we have Quebec. I said that already. Trinidad, I said that. Vancouver, I said that. Dominica is in the house. Hey, so many amazing people. I want to welcome you. Dominica, Laos. Wow, Cambodia is in the house. Brooklyn, New York. Dominica, we got London, Ontario, and I try to read them as fast as I could. So welcome everyone. A good night or a good morning wherever you are. Barbados, Ottawa, amazing, amazing, amazing. So, get your notepads ready, get your ears ready, get your coffee in hand, juice in hand, tea in hand, and take some phenomenal notes because I truly believe that all of us need a great mentor and a coach in what we do on a daily basis. You need someone to be accountable to. You need someone that you look up to. You need someone who's been there, done it. The biggest mistake I find that a lot of people make is they go hire a coach that has never actually done it. And Tamara is someone, as you can see, not only she's beautiful, but she is got so much knowledge about the nutrition industry. She's got the sexiest body in the world, which I want. And she is an inspiration for all women and men. And you know what? She's an amazing trainer. I remember one day I was working out and I had said to Ramin, for those of you who know, he's my husband. He's also the CEO of the company, and said, why don't you come and work out with me and see if you can keep up? He's like, of course I can keep up with you ladies. Well, 10 minutes into the workout, he's like, no, I think you do your thing. So Tamara, welcome to our call. First of all, you know what? I don't want to screw up your bio. You have so much extensive experience. You have so much knowledge. You've done so much schooling. Tell us a little bit about you.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled to be here and wow, I can't even imagine speaking to so many people across the nation, the world. Wow, this is crazy. I'm so thrilled and grateful to see you again. Actually, today was a holiday and I saw you this morning working out. You are wow, you're amazing and inspiration, I think, to this community as well, because most of the time people cancel on me on a holiday. So you were doing it, you were consistent. I love it. And I'm so happy to be here and see you again. I am a personal trainer for specifically for women, but men too, as well as a nutrition coach, hormone, and I specialize in menopause because it's really something that's kind of coming out there. It's being spoken about. It's something we have to talk about and know about, and look at our nutrition and our training based on that. But yes, I've also competed in competitions. I've done it all. I've been in this industry for quite a long time, and I don't know what else to say, but let's start talking about.
Yeah, let's get going. Well, Tamara is very humble, as you can see, and she's an amazing coach. And You know, one of the things that I've learned by her, I've had many personal trainers, by the way. You know how we've always tried to lose weight and had all those yo-yo diets, and we've all had tried to follow somebody. Well, I never felt comfortable with as the way I feel comfortable and I connect with Tamara. And I think that you really need to connect to a mentor and coach. At the same time, like I said at the beginning of the call, it has to be someone that inspires you. I remember the first time, first of all, I actually, my neighbor was using Tamara. And I remember going over to her house and we were, us women, we talk and we all want to be healthy. And I started talking about weight loss and she's like, oh, I have so much, clothes that I need to give away. And I was like, oh, how come? And she's like, oh, I've lost so much weight. I actually used to be even bigger than you. And I'm like, bigger than me? This girl's tiny. I'm talking like tiny, tiny, tiny. So I said, really? And she said, yeah, you want to see a fat picture of me? And I was like, okay. And this is my new neighbor. So I wasn't really comfortable with her yet. Long story short, she pulls out her phone and she shows me what I call a fat picture. I got one of those. I'm going to show you guys mine tonight. And so I was like, wow, how did you lose all the weight? And she's like, oh, I have this lady, Tamara, she coached me and she trained me. And then I was like, of course, coming up with the excuses like we always do, right? I'm like, yeah, but I don't have time to go to the gym and I don't really like working out publicly and I don't like doing weights and I don't like this and I came up with 1,000 excuses, right? Whenever we don't want to do something, we come up with excuses. You guys remember those? And so then she's like, oh, don't worry. She can do a training on Zoom. And I was like, that handled every objection of all the excuses I came up with in the book. And I said, really? She can work out with you on Zoom. How does that work? And she's like, well, why don't you do a consult? It's free. You'll get to know her. You kind of get to see if she's like the right coach. And of course, 3 years later, never look back. I have to say, Tamara, nutrition, exercise are so important, but I learned so much. I'm going to give some little snippets of what I've learned in 3 years, but I think one of the biggest is showing up. And how do you get people to show up and stay motivated in regimen, food, exercise, working out? What's the secret?
There, I don't know if there's a secret. It's not easy. We all feel like that. Sometimes I do too. And I have to show up for myself as well. If you're showing up, you have to show up for me because I'm going to be like on, waiting for you. So the thing is muscle is the key to longevity. Food is medicine. And we have to treat our bodies now that we're a little bit more aware of what's happening on the inside. And perhaps if you're not, like, we need to become a little bit more aware of the fact that all of our systems work together. So we, as men and women, we have to start lifting, strength training and lifting weights for preserving our muscle and for preventative, preventing disease. I hate to say that, but it's true. As well as, just being able to move and function in life, because the worst thing is if you can't move. I mean, like, let's look at our future self. Like, if you want to have grandchildren and move and play and, be able to lift them up, like, we have to keep moving. Like, our lives are so sedentary. I feel like, it's very important to just even put in that time, if it's 2 times a week, 3 times a week for strength training, nutrition. I think we're going to talk about that a lot tonight. And nutrition is very important as well, because, our lives have become sort of overturned with, what's it called?
Processed foods.
Processed foods, sugar, all the things. Like, you can go to anywhere and they're just like vying for your affection, right? And the thing is, we have to start eating the things that are grown, and the things that you're going to see on the outside of the grocery store, and negate the things that are in boxes because they're processed and they're not good for our bodies. And the things that are grown and the things that might have been alive. Now I know we all have different um, uh, diets. I don't like that word as well, but we all have different ideas of what we like to eat. But I have a few things that I think work sort of across the generalized public, that I think are very important at this age and stage, as we're learning more about longevity and health and optimizing our health. So protein is huge. Protein, whether it is in animal protein or, oh, nice, I like that heart.
Hi, you're gonna get emojis.
So protein in animal protein or vegetables. There's a lot of different options that we need to prioritize, and that will help with muscle protein synthesis. And then we're looking at fibrous vegetables. Like, you want half of your plate filled with tons of vegetables, fruits, seeds, nuts, legumes, all of those good things for the gut microbiome. I'm sure, we're hearing a lot about the gut microbiome, and that's our second brain. So we need to feed that, and that will help with a lot of our metabolic issues, as well as carbs. So complex carbs. So complex carbs are like things like quinoa or like rice, sweet potatoes. You want, again, things that are grown, not the carbs that are in boxes, not chips, not, with all the salt, the sugar. No, we need, and complex carbs are for energy. So when you start looking at intentional foods, protein is for muscle, fruits and vegetables are for the gut microbiome. We're looking at complex carbs for energy, and then we've got healthy fats. Now, healthy fats are a little bit on the minimal side because we're looking at, olive oil or avocado, but it's also 9 calories per gram. So we have to be careful with those. Those are kind of, the last of our macronutrients. And, we just have to try to avoid processed foods, sugar, sauces. It's hard. Sugar is very addictive. And, if you look at an 80-20, like if you're going 5 days a week with super healthy foods, clean, whole nutrient dense foods, and then maybe you're looking at one meal on the weekend that you're celebrating with your family, because food brings us together. And that's a very important part of mindfulness and wellness and health and longevity, is bringing people together over our food. And we all know that. So, you have to enjoy as well. So those are my top 4 key notes that I think that are very important. Now, how to do this in a very busy schedule like yours is, if you can prep your foods on a Sunday, even if it's just not the whole food, it's not the whole meal, if it's just protein and you're throwing protein that's already made into a salad, into a stir fry, into kebabs, into, anything with lots of vegetables, complex carbs, and a little bit of healthy fats, then you are good to go for the week. You don't want to be caught out and all you've got is a snack bar that has French fries and chips and ice cream and chocolate, right?
Tamara, I found that food prep was one of the key ingredients to healthy skin, healthy hair, healthy gut, healthy body, and weight loss and building muscle mass. And you've taught me so much in these 3 years. And so I'm going to tell you all, before, my fridge was filled with a lot of really yummy stuff that is not good, like Tamara said. So many of you are on this call from an international market, but in North America and Canada, when you go grocery shopping, on the outside of the grocery store. And when we say outside, not literally outside, but on the outside perimeter of the grocery store is where you will find your proteins, your meats, your butcher, your vegetables, your fruits. And then inside the supermarket, which is all the aisles, are all the box stuff, you know, the sugar packs and the sweets and the cookies and the cereals and all the pops and drinks and all the stuff that we should not really eat. So, one of the first rules that Tamara said, she said, for the first 3 months, always shop from the perimeter of the store. Don't go inside the aisles. Don't even see what's inside there. And that was a really good rule because every time I would pick something up, if it was not in my fridge, basically it was like a no to eat.
In the pantry.
And you know, you had to keep it basically fresh in the fridge, whether it was your protein, whether it was your you know, vegetables or whatever. The second thing that Tamara taught me was always have food ready to eat. And that was exactly what she was talking about. So before I used to buy, you know, 12 boiled egg, I mean, sorry, 12 eggs. Now I buy a pack of 18 and I will always have 6 to 8 boiled eggs in my fridge, like ready to go. And if I'm ever hungry or I need like a protein kick, Tamara, that's something that I run to very easily. So how important is it to have little snacks and proteins ready to kind of munch on and eat?
Protein is really important, and there's so many studies coming out about protein and the fact that that helps with muscle protein synthesis. So when we are starting to age, we go through sarcopenia, where we start to our muscles deplete. So we want to build that up both with strength training as well as in resistance training, as well as protein. And we want to look at least 30 plus grams per meal. So I'm going to say even 40, like let's do that, because typically we're looking at 1 gram per pound, and I'm not sure if everyone deals with pounds, but per ideal body weight. So that might sound a lot, and probably more than you're used to, but it's so important because proteins also satiates you. It keeps you full. It helps build lean muscle mass, and it helps with protein synthesis. So muscle protein synthesis. So helping to, you know, build that muscle that you're losing as we age from 35 plus. So
Amazing.
important. So yeah, and when we're looking at eggs, when we're looking at 30 grams, we're looking at like 5 eggs to make up 30 grams. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's so yeah. So, and we're looking at maybe 5 ounces of chicken, for example. So this is kind of what we're looking at. And I know it's hard to kind of think about what they all weigh, but you know, that's sort of a little bit of a, yeah, a hint
Yeah.
on
And
how much
honestly, I
protein you need.
found like it's really in the creativity. So one of the things that I do in my cupcake dish, I'll basically make some eggs, I'll add some spices and vegetables to it, and then I'll just make eggs into the like little muffins, and they'll be like little egg bites that I have. So really it's about being creative with food. But I want to talk a little bit about weight training because for me, when I was on the heavier side, I really couldn't get out to exercise. And you know, I couldn't really run. I didn't like to do a lot of the machines. I get bored very easily, you know, sitting on a treadmill. And how many of you, by the way, don't like going on treadmills or like exercise machines and you find it very boring? Because I was one of those people. And one of the things that Tamara taught me is that weight training is not only key to build your muscle mass, but to be able to lose weight. And I loved that because, you know, Ramin can like run on a treadmill for like an hour. His stamina is like crazy. He can go on these climbers for like hours. And a lot of people love them, by the way. I'm just not one of those people. And so I found that you taught me You know, when it comes to weight training and muscle training, not only, you know, does it help to build muscle, but it does so much more. Tell us a little bit about
Helps.
that.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, the benefits are like ridiculously like it is the magic pill. It is like it's insane. It helps with muscle, obviously building muscle, preventing muscle loss, bone density. It helps with even your mindset, clarity, focus, emotional, um, anxiety, depression. It helps with so much. It's just ridiculous. Like honestly, the benefits are unlimitless. But it also, so it's helping with longevity, but it's also helping sculpt your body. So we all want that as well. Muscle is much denser than fat, but it's smaller than fat. So you will become, you might not see, I don't love to talk about weight because we want to talk about fat loss, because weight is composed of a lot of different things. It could be water, it could be muscle, it could be, um, skeletal muscle. Like it's a lot of different things. So we're talking about body composition, and it's just it's really it's the key to longevity. It's it helps with so many different things. It helps you with flexibility, it helps you with power, strength. These are all the things that we lose as we age. It helps with uh what's it called? Sorry.
Building muscle mass. Let me ask you a question, Tamara.
Yeah.
Is it important for lifting heavy weights or doing lighter weights and more reps? Which one is better? Do you recommend for both men and women as they're aging? Because I would say we're an aging population, and before I was told like, don't do big weights because you're going to become bulky. And if you remember when I first met you, I was like, I don't want to be bulky. I don't want to look like a man. Like I want to be slender, and I want to, you know, be
Right.
petite, but you know, muscly. And you were like, no, you need to do weight. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Okay, so it takes a really long time to build muscle, and there is no way you will ever become bulky. So, I mean, some men want to become bulky and build that muscle, but it takes a long time and a lot of food, actually. You have to eat a lot of food to build that muscle. So no, you'll not become bulky. Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, the question is, do you do heavier weights or do
Oh,
you do
heavier.
lighter weights,
Yes.
more reps?
Heavier weights are very, very important. I would do heavier weights, not lighter weights, and more reps. Now, that said, if as a woman in perimenopause, you're looking at a different schedule, you might want to sync with your cycle and do heavy weights on 3 weeks and then 1 week lighter reps or higher reps and lighter weights.
Okay.
But as going before that or after that, and as a man, like you want to look at heavier weights, absolutely, because that's going to help with muscle protein synthesis. It's going to help with fat loss. It's going to help with absolutely everything that you want for body composition.
Yeah. You know, one of the things about our consumer and majority of people that are on this call, you know, they are, I would say definitely the 35 plus. For most of the women, one of the things that I've learned over the years is that women go through, you know, menopause a lot earlier, or premenopause and postmenopause, and there's a lot of symptoms that emotionally, physically, psychologically, that they are affected by, but also the men that we have in this business as well. I always say men go through menopause. It's just not called menopause.
Andropause.
You know?
Andropause.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really, really important. As you know, I've always talked to you about our two primary products, Fountain of Life, and of course our new Divine product that we launched a couple of months. It has in a phenomenal way helped our consumers, and we got, you know, thousands upon thousands of testimonials. And of course, this is why we have a successful company and brand, because we have incredible products that are helping. But you know, for me, when I started to work out, my target was I looked good. I just didn't realize how much fat I had in my body. And I was able to shed off fat. And I think the biggest mistake that a lot of people make is that they do these yo-yo diets, or they don't get a proper trainer. They end up losing muscle, they end up losing water and not fat. So we're trying to teach people more on this call on today, that your food and nutrition, your exercise is so key to basically eliminate fat out of your body. Because when you have fat that builds up around your body, when you have fat that builds up around your heart, when you have fat that builds up in your arteries, that's how heart attacks happen. So healthy living, exercise, food are so key. It doesn't matter how old you are, you need to start today. You need to start now. So let's talk a little bit about that importance, Tamara.
So as we go into menopause and as we age, I think both men and women, we start to gain visceral fat, which is the fat that surrounds our organs, which is the dangerous fat. And the whole thing about cardio is the long steady state cardio is no longer. We're finding studies that are saying that you just need little bursts of hit or sit, as Dr. Stacy Sims says, where you're going all out for 20 to 30 seconds, and then you have 1 to 2 minutes rest, all out for 20 to 30 seconds. And that will help with the visceral fat, getting rid of the visceral fat. It's just going to happen. Unfortunately, no matter who you are, what you've done, and what you did before is not working now. It just is what it is. And we have to look at, typically I like to look at my clients from a bio individual basis. So, we have to look at what you did before, and and this is the thing in a general sense too. We want to look at what you eat now and what you're doing now, and then just slowly bump it up. Maybe you're putting in more steps. Maybe you're starting a strength training session, once per week. Maybe you're adding more protein in your diet, and you want to kind of reach that homeostasis level, which is that level where your body is sort of comfortable at maintaining where you are right now. And then you do a bit of a caloric deficit, but we don't want to be in the 1200 calorie caloric deficits. That is what takes your muscle away and not your fat. So that's what has probably injured most of us throughout our years of trying to be skinny, being in the 80s and 90s and looking up to the supermodels and all the things, right? We just wanted to be small and skinny. And now it's about being strong, healthy, and all about longevity, right? So muscle is very important. So is diet, and not diet. I think it's just eating healthy and very intentionally, and thinking about what you put in your mouth, really, right? Because we want to last, and we want to be there for our grandkids, and we want to be able to move and not be debilitated, and say, oh my God, I'm 50 and I can't even bend over, right?
Yeah.
So, and by the way, I'm 54, so I
And
can
you look
bend
fabulous.
So it's so important that we just add a bit of strength training, slowly, surely, and we get rid of that visceral fat. And there was just a study put out, because we also have inflammation as we grow older, and tissue. I'm going to send you the study because I think it's really important. It's called the new musculoskeletal syndrome of menopause, and it's talking about our joints, frozen shoulder, things that happen to us on a physical level in our tissues, and it's something just to be aware of, and strength training helps.
Yes, of
Diet helps.
course.
Yeah. So
And
this is all very preventative.
so I want you to just repeat that again, because I think a lot of times people don't, and our community is pretty good, but this is all about education. I find that a lot of people don't take any action. They don't do anything until they need to. And
Yeah.
our community, Opulence Nation, as we call ourselves, we are a nation of phenomenal entrepreneurs that are trying to be not only healthy, eat well, get more exercise, but at the same time teach others to do the same, and at the same time take the right supplements, because as you know, there's so many supplements out there. And tonight is not really about the supplements because we do intensive training for those, but today is more about good nutrition, drinking enough water, staying
Better.
away from the sugars, getting your HIIT training. Now, let's talk a little bit about HIIT training, because that spurt of training that you do is like go, 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 go. You get me to do them all the time, and I'm like panting. Or I create what I call the sweat angels on the floor, because Tamara, makes us like sweat bullets from
You're
the amount of.
glowing. You're getting rid
Yes.
of all the toxicities.
So let's talk about that. How important is it? Because a lot of times, doing a lot. So I was one of those people
Yeah.
that would never sweat. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't sweat. I don't sweat. I can do exercise. Well, get a trainer like Tamara. She'll make you, have sweat bullets coming down. And I found that when I started to do weights, that's when my body really woke up. And that's when, I always said, like, I don't want to do surgery, but if I don't get rid of this fat here and here and here,
You did
I
say
may
that.
consider it. And then for my wedding, I said, Tamara, I was able to get rid of all the fat in all the places I wanted, because we did target training, we did HIIT training, we did intensive weight training.
Training for the dress. Training for the dress.
Yes, it was training for the
As we got closer too. But yeah, that was
and it
awesome.
worked. But and let's talk about that. The importance of setting a target. Should someone be setting a target of weight or a target of what they want to achieve? Because like for me, if I had to do weight, I actually hit my weight and I found that it was too much weight. I wanted to gain more. So I started to work on muscle,
Yeah.
because I wanted to build more muscle. I think proportion is so key. So let's talk a little bit about that.
It's so key, and that's why I use weight just as a scale, like as a method of measurement. I don't love using weight, and I prefer a body composition scale, but also I like to use measurements. So you will see that happen first before you will see the weight. And again, muscle is heavier than fat. In fact, when I started, I was I didn't weigh very much, and now I weigh more, but I'm smaller than when I started, gaining muscle. So you just have to we have to get over that. It's unfortunately a societal thing that kind of, we were marketed towards throughout our lives, but um, we don't want to be small anymore. We want to take up space as women, and we want to have muscle. So yeah, so it's not all about weight. It's about fat and body composition. And yes, when we go through menopause, our fat distribution might be a little bit different. So we have to look at that too. And it's again, the best thing you could possibly do for yourself is to strength train and just eat with intention for your body, because everything works together. We didn't know that before. I think most of us just live on the outside on the aesthetic, but when we start looking inside and what's happening there, that's going to shine on the outside, what we're doing. And it's just, for 2 times to 3 times a week, that's 3 hours for you. That's it. That's all. You can do that. I believe you can. And yes, it's a little bit of planning for your food, but again, it's to help you feel energized and willing to, like ready and willing to take on the day, and not sluggish and tired, and you just want to be energized and just live a beautiful life in that way.
I love that. I think if there's the biggest takeaway that anybody got from what Tamara just shared with all of you, it's not about how much you weigh. If you want to set a target for yourself, measure your body. You know, when I say measure, I mean she measures everything. You know,
Oh
you
yeah,
measure each arm because, by the way, each arm could be a different dimension. Measure your thighs, measure your stomach, measure your hips, measure your shoulders, measure your back, and, you know, above the chest, which basically has the back area. And you're absolutely right. Even for myself, when I lost my weight, Tamara, I lost weight, but then I started to actually gain weight. But I wasn't gaining weight. I was actually gaining muscle and I was converting fat into muscle. And you know, there was so much exercises that I'm a nagger. Okay. I would be like, Tamara, do we have to do this one? And she was like, yes, you need to do this one. And you know, the biggest tip that she gave me, I was like, oh, I don't want to focus on lower body. I want to build up my upper body. And she was
true.
like, you don't want to be a Q-tip, which is basically skinny on the bottom and then poof.
Yeah. Exactly. We can target. And in fact, full body will get rid like will help much more than just targeting. And I do like to work on shoulders, work on our, getting that V taper and working on our glutes and our hips, because hips as women, like it's very important to be strong. So that if we fall, because we're so prone to osteoporosis, it's so important. And even the small bouts of cardio, can we just go back to that? Because I, as a bikini competitor, did like 45 minutes, an hour of cardio in the morning and at night to get to the stage. That is the most boring thing in the world to do steady state cardio. I don't like it. And really, all you have to do is 5 minutes. It's just all out, and with 1 minute rest, all out for, 20 seconds. And that's all we need to do. That's so much better than, an hour or 45 minutes of cardio on a treadmill, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it helps with cardiovascular health, which is one of the number one um, you know, killers of women, I have to say, like it's true. So we need that in our lives. And we just need that little burst. And it helps with visceral fat too.
I love it. So when it comes to weights, let's talk a little bit about that because I've become a big advocate of doing weights, and I think doing a full body workout is so important. So we do full body workout one day. We do basically upper body one day. We do lower body, but in between we kind of do. I work out, just so you all know, 3 times a week. I did not ever work out the way I've been committing to, Tamara. It's been through move, through construction, through renovation,
I
through
know. A wedding.
convention, through traveling. I mean, you name it. If there's anybody who's got a stupid, crazy, busy schedule, it's me. You know, I've had to do makeup classes. I've had injuries where I haven't been able to work out. But you know what? I've always sucked it up and did it. And there's mornings where I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning to work out because I got to get my workout before my day starts. Because if my day starts, there's no way I'm going to commit because I just have such a busy schedule. So, Tamara, how important is it to set that priority? And does it matter whether you work out in the morning, during the day, or night?
Um, I mean, studies have shown that yes, it helps in the morning because your cortisol level is high. So you can burn that off, but it depends on your lifestyle. So whatever works for you, and that's going to work for you. I mean, if you can just fit it in, just fit it in. If it can be like, again, 2 to 3 hours a week, it's your you time, and you have to schedule that on your calendar, and you have to treat it as an appointment,
Yeah.
right? So it's so important to spend that time on you, and in addition, plan on your nutrition as well. But And there's so many other lifestyle hacks and things like we can talk about is like sleep, and there's like, there's stress management, which is really important too. But you can almost put it all into that hour. It depends on how crazy busy your life is. And that can be your stress management. I mean, it's not going to be your sleep, obviously, but it can be a lot of things. And it's just that time for you, which is so important.
One that, I couldn't agree with you more. That workout that I do in the morning almost resets my system, because as you all know, I wear many, many different hats and I'm extremely busy in the company. So I find that that morning session that I commit myself, just like all of you have seen my commitment to all of you on these Monday night calls. I have committed myself no matter what, holiday or not, I'm always on. Even Tamara said it, like today was a holiday here in Canada. And I could have made 100 excuses why I shouldn't work out on a holiday. But I did. And it's just simply because it's about consistency, it's about commitment, it's about having a routine. And for me, I'm not a fan of working out at nighttime. I won't do it. I know I will not, I will fail. That is just me. I've tried to do the after work workout, and my brain is so exhausted that I just don't have the energy. I find in the morning, I get up, I take a shower, brush my teeth, I'm fresh in the morning. I have a workout and I'm actually pumped up with more energy. And I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm like ready to conquer the day. And of course, how could you not, when you get smiles from beautiful Tamara in the morning, she's so uplifting and so inspiring. And you
Yeah.
know, when I hit your age, I want to just look as fabulous as you. She is absolutely fabulous. And when she does the exercises, she makes everything look so easy and seamless. And then when you're doing it, it's like, ah, but I find that persistence is the key, and everything is hard when you're just not good at it. Do
And
you guys hear
listen,
that?
and you've probably heard this many times, I'm sure, out in social media, but it's like choose your heart, right? You can have hard just being, like without energy, just, slow, not very fit, and not feeling well, and possibly prone to, I hate to say, but dis-ease. And then you can be strong, fit, healthy, and live, a very long and healthy life. So
See, it's
it's
so funny.
choose
You,
your
you
heart.
say that about you say that about nutrition, and in business we say choose your hard. Being rich is hard, being poor is hard. Which one would you rather be? And in nutrition, it's the same thing. Because and when people say, "Well, how is it hard when you're rich?" Well, everyone wants a handout. Everyone wants, you to do things for them. Everyone depends on you. And it takes a lot of effort to do what you do. But Tamara, you've always said like choose your heart. Like you could either be healthy, and one thing you've really taught me is being healthy is not hard when you know what you're doing, when you know what you got to eat, when you know you got to get enough sleep, you know you got to get enough water, the exercises. Before I met Tamara, I found that exercise was like a chore for me.
You hated
And
it.
I hated it. I actually used to tell Tamara, I hate working out, I hate being here. She was like, don't worry. She's so sweet, as you can
And
see.
you love it now. You actually
I
said
love it.
to me, I was like, oh my God.
I love it.
We've
I do
transformed.
not look for excuses to miss my workout. I actually look forward to pumping iron. So I look forward to going down there. I look forward to, going. And by the way, I still work out on Zoom. Tamara and I, in 3 years, have probably seen each other, I think, twice. Yeah, maybe
Nice.
once.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's
It's
crazy. And
crazy.
we're not too far away either.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, choose your heart. Do you want to be, getting into the motivation of working out, or do you want to not be able to sit up, stand, have knee pain, have, have fat build up around your lungs and your gut and all that kind of gross stuff. By the way, if you do have a question, we have a Q&A box at the bottom. Drop us a question. Tamara and I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. I do have one. You know, for someone, Tamara, this comes from Thailand. For someone she is 150 centimeters height, so weighs about 83, not weigh 83 centimeters, so that's height.
I
I'm assuming 83 maybe pounds, and actually wants to lose weight. So please advise on what some of the things that she can start to do.
She can start like again, I like to start slow. So like maybe do a little bit more steps per day. So that's getting in a lot of walking. We don't want to be sedentary. We don't want to be sitting too long. We're, you know, a laptop nation. And we just need to get up every hour even. There's such a thing as exercise snacks. You can start doing, you know, squats, you can move around, do lunges, go out for a quick walk up and down your stairs, you know, whatever it takes. Drink a lot more water, bring protein in your diet, like 3 times a day. You want to at least hit that 30 grams plus. And you know, start more veggies, and it doesn't have to be boring. Like you can put all the, you know, garlic, the herbs, the seasoning, like all the things. It doesn't have to be boring. Just, you know, just enjoy a lot of the colorful, uh, diverse amounts of vegetables and fruit and things that are in season. Actually, wherever you live, um, eating in season is very important, as well as a little bit of carbs and healthy fats. So, I mean, that's kind of the simplified version.
I do
But
want to reiterate, Tamara, one thing that you taught me that I was making a mistake on as well is eliminating sauces. So sauce and sugars.
yeah, sugary, creamy sauces. Yeah. If you can, just even a little bit of seasoning salt and fresh herbs, just try to keep it very clean, as clean as possible. And then enjoy that maybe once, you know, a week, with your family and friends. And just one meal. Like if you can keep it clean throughout the week, then that's awesome.
Okay. So basically it wasn't 83 centimeters, it was 83 kilograms. And basically it's all about using also a lot of water and hydration and just kind of flushing out that fat.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, really key. And the other things as well that you always taught me is, so I was never drinking enough water. I used to tell Tamara, I don't like drinking water. It's so boring. And she was like, infuse your water, put some cucumber in it. Can you talk to us about all the different cool flavors that you always tell us about?
100%. And I get that. Water can be boring. And you actually want to add a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, because sometimes our water, we can drink as much water as we want to and it doesn't absorb. So the pink Himalayan salt helps to absorb the water. But you can do cucumber mint. You can do, so if I'm doing a savory breakfast, I like to add like my blueberries, strawberries, berries in my water, as well as like really whatever you like whatever fruit, whatever you can infuse in your water to give it more flavor.
I love it. I love it. Tamara, another question is when you say to have protein 3 times a day, that 30 grams of protein is per meal or for the full day? Great question.
That's a great question. And yes, it's per meal. So, I mean, ideally, we want more than 30 grams, because 30 grams is kind of that barrier of that muscle protein synthesis. So we want to almost aim for almost 35. And again, if you're, you know, you're into strength training, you're eating well, you're doing all the things, then we're going to look at how many grams per pound of ideal body weight. So that's going to even be more once you start introducing more activity and exercise in your life. So
I love
yes, I know it's a lot, but it's good. And you want to eat that first too, if you can.
let's go back a little bit. Why is it important to add the Himalayan salt? And is it just Himalayan salt or just regular salt is okay? But why salt in your water in the morning? I love this one.
It because it helps, absorb the water, because you could just be drinking water and it's just kinda, like, falling down, like, all and then you're in the washroom all the time. Let's be real. So, it just helps it's like, taking vitamin D and you need vitamin K to help absorb the vitamin D. So, it just helps, like, absorb into your cells.
I love it. Did you guys all get that? So in the morning, that's actually one of the little things that I do is that when I wake up, I have my morning coffee. And then I always have a bottle of water in the morning and I put a pinch of Himalayan salt in it. And by the way, it's not to make your water salty, okay? So you're just talking like a pinch of it and you're putting it in your water. And so what it does, the Himalayan salt, which is pink, by the way, it helps to really hydrate your body, hydrate your muscles, hydrate your cells when it comes to drinking water as well. And then throughout the day, like Tamara said, I actually have some fun. Sometimes I put blueberries, sometimes I put mint, cucumbers. I like to stick to mint and cucumbers. I find they're super hydrating, they make the water taste really good. And I almost feel like it like peels away fat out of your body. So that's the best way to like take a look to do that as well. And what is the best way for a senior to build a muscle? Great question.
Senior, to build a muscle, you are not exempt from training, strength training. So we want to start with, it depends where you're starting. So that's a huge thing. I like to meet people where they are, and what experience you've had. So it could be starting with body weight. It could be starting with, 3 to 5 pounds. It could be, maybe you've been in the gym, you've been like exercising throughout your life and you can do a little bit heavier. But we want to progress, along with you so that you're able to keep building on muscle and building, and also the protein. Like my for example, my mom, she has osteoporosis, and I am telling her to do the same. She's 70 some 76, I think. And she has to strength train. She has to eat the protein. It's, like this is what she's got to do. Unfortunately, because there's a whole story, but with menopause, we kind of, our mothers beforehand were misled through a whole study that happened in 2000, but we won't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
They just missed out on the hormone treatment, but yeah, so.
So, Tamara, I find that for women and men that maybe they don't have as much of the muscle mass that is needed to be healthy, to do a lot of weight training. I find swimming is really, really good. I find that also salt water, if people, I mean, we have a lot of people from the Caribbean, they're very lucky because,
Yes.
just going into the salt water for them is so good. But I find that swimming and any water sports for our body is such good movement.
Yes.
And any movement, by the way, is good movement, by the
It's
way.
good movement. Yeah, and body weight, like 100%. So that's swimming is amazing, especially for those that have arthritis too. That helps out a lot. But body weight movements are the beginning, and then
Yes.
we strength training.
Yes, because I know with my mom, when she first started to kind of get active and wanting to lose weight and becoming healthier, because again, as you age, and you also gain weight, it puts a lot of pressure on the knees, it puts pressure on the ankles. Even for myself, when I was heavier, I was actually not able to wear high heels, and it was because I was carrying more weight and I literally could not. Now that I've lost my weight, now that I have a good proportion, now that I'm healthy, it's just I can wear heels and it's much easier to wear them. So I
Yeah.
find that when I started to work out and when my mom even I was talking to her a lot about working out was incorporating, being going into the water. and just swimming and, just getting some sort of movement even inside the water because it's softer on the muscles, the recovery is easier. And that's why Tamara, as you know, I've been telling you about our collagen powder that's about to come out. I'm so excited for the collagen powder to be coming
Yes.
out.
Oh, I
So
can't wait.
yes, it's going to be exciting. It's definitely going to be very, very, amazing because the collagen is going to be it's going to be a game changer because we're also focusing a lot on repairing gut. I read an article the other day about, antibiotics, and how antibiotics are so bad for us. I mean, they're good for us because they help us recover from some sort of ailment, but they're so bad for us because they give us leaky gut, they cause depression, they bring on so much more negative post recovery. And
Yeah.
that's why it's so important for all of us to stay strong, be healthy, work out, have better nutrition, have better sleep, have some sort of movement in our lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
And another question I have is in regards to electrolytes, powder for in adding into the water.
Yes. So that's actually kind of the same thing as the pink Himalayan salts. So that's electrolyte. So that helps to help you absorb the water that you're putting in your body. And I'm not saying Gatorade. That
Yes.
is not
Why?
where we want to go.
Why? 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 Tell
Because
us
there's
why.
a lot of sugar. There's a lot of
Yes.
sugar in Gatorade. So if we're looking at things like there's a company called Elements that has like different flavored waters and they have it's very salty. I would use half a pack. But yeah, so we need electrolytes and that's exactly what the salt in the water helps with. Um, I'm just trying to kind of simplify, but amazing for whoever asked that. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's so important to do that throughout the day and infuse electrolytes
I love it.
in your, yeah,
I
especially
love it.
through
Sorry, through what?
a workout.
Workout. Okay, I
Yes.
know we're at 9. We have a couple of more questions. Are you okay to answer a couple of more questions?
Yeah,
Do you believe
100.
it's already been an hour? It's crazy how fast time went
I
by today.
know. That's
All
crazy.
right. So I would like to know if you have any ideas of protein powder suggestion for shakes, something to replace breakfast with a protein shake. When you're working on a shift, I find that I tend to skip meals and it does not help my diet. I'm in menopause and struggling to lose versus fat. Great question.
Okay. So yeah, whey protein shakes are amazing. Typically, the highest amount of protein they have is about 27 grams. So you just want to bump that up, like whether you're bringing in a couple of almonds, uh, peanut butter, like a nut butter, something along those lines, an egg, to help bump that up to the plus 30. And yeah, protein shakes are great. I would do that with water rather than milks. I think it's just less in calories. Um, and they're especially great after a workout because we want to build that protein in after our workout. But no, they're amazing. As Was it what kind of protein shakes? Like
Yeah, what is there one that
whey,
you
like if it says whey, Australian whey, that's the best protein. I mean, and there are those that prefer plant proteins. It's just that with plant you have to get a lot more in. It just doesn't offer that amount of protein initially. But yeah.
great. Love the question. And what is the best way to lose belly fat? Huh, it's an ass question.
All of it. It's all encompassing. I hate to say that, but it really is. It's all encompassing. You just have to um, you know, work out, eat well and live well, sleep well. And it's just all encompassing. And sometimes it's taking the pressure off of losing the weight. and just building the muscle and looking at longevity and being healthy and, optimal health. And then that will come, as long as you're doing all the right things, you're eating the nutrient dense foods, you know, the protein, the veggies, the fruit, all the things, you're sleeping 7 to 8 hours, you're getting your water in, you're getting out for walks, you're strength training at least twice to 3 times a week. And, you're getting a couple of hit sessions, 5 minutes, guys. That's all. That's it. That's all. And you will lose the weight, but just don't, I think we have so much pressure on us. Like I would just, enjoy the process and it will come. I promise you.
I'm going to throw in a wrench in there. What about alcohol? When someone drinks alcohol, already you're like, no. What does that do to the body, and how long does it take for the body to kind of bounce back?
Alcohol, it disrupts your sleep. It takes away from muscle because it actually your liver wants to process it first before anything else. So anything else you put in your body, that's going there first. So it doesn't help. It's not, I mean, I get it. We live stressful lives, and I speak to a lot of women that they just want that glass of wine at the end of the day to take the ease off, and maybe they have kids and everything's crazy, but if you can avoid it, it's better. And you know what? It's trending right now not to be, go non-alcoholic. It's a new thing. And living the sober life.
Yeah, so I find that when you have a glass of wine, it literally does more harm than good in the sense of recovery, because your body, your muscles, liver, so many different things. So, ladies and gents, stick to as much water, stay away from sugars. And last question, and then I'm gonna kind of wrap up the call. What is a good steady rate of cardio that someone should do a couple of times a week?
So if you can do 1 minute sort of steady state, and it depends on what you like. It could be like kettlebell swings. And you're just, kettlebell is swinging. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but for 1 minute, and then you go all hard, like hard all out for 20 seconds. And then you go back to like a state where you can actually kind of talk. You're still out of breath, but then you go all out, and it could be running, it could be sprinting, it could be like you're jogging or walking, and then all of a sudden you sprint for like 20 seconds. And you do that 3 times for the 20 seconds all out, 1 minute in between, and that equals 5 minutes. And you do that twice a week, then you are golden.
Amazing. I love it. I love it. Perfect. So HIIT training is really, really key. By the way, that could also be something as simple as going up and down your stairs. I remember Tamara, when I first started, and I lived in now I live in a bungalow, so I don't have stairs. But I remember in my previous house, my target was to do 10,000 steps a day. So many of you will see me wearing my watch that's got the steps on it. And I had a Fitbit, and it was because I wanted to make sure I got in my 10,000 steps. So at nighttime, before I went, I would run up and down the stairs. Now that I live in a bungalow, and I don't have stairs, you know what I do? Jumping jacks. So and everybody knows how to do jumping jacks. So, and then you could go really, really fast. And just so you all know, this was the reason we did the 30-day health challenge. It was, we wanted to teach you how to be healthy. We wanted to teach you to drink more water, get more sleep, eliminate sugar. Sugar is bad for you. Sugar equals disease. And I'm talking about artificial sugar. So we all, like the other day, I remember someone's like, how do you take your coffee? And I'm like, black. They're like, black? I'm like, black. And they were like, ew. And I'm like, I went from triple to double to 1 milk to 1 sugar to half a milk, half a sugar. And now if there is like sugar or milk in my coffee, I'm like, oh, I can't even have it anymore because my body has done that cleanse. So ladies and gentlemen, what do we learn from tonight's call? I hope that you've all been inspired to really step up, eat clean, sleep more, get exercise, add more water, put flavors into your water, and basically eliminate sugar, add that sprinkle of salt into your diet in the morning to absorb into your muscles, especially when you're working out. It is absolutely fantastic. And again, we're not trying to get you to, make salt water, by the way. We're just adding a pinch of
A teeny,
salt.
just a teeny bit. Yeah.
And Tamara, if someone doesn't have, because we have a lot of different countries and not everybody has the Himalayan salt accessible to them. I think everyone in all countries, by the way, has Amazon, where you can find everything on Amazon. But I find mine at Costco. Most countries have Costco. I actually bought a huge thing. I actually cook now with Himalayan salt. My steaks, I mean, the food just tastes so much better with Himalayan salt as opposed to regular, what I call white salt.
Yeah.
And so is there another alternative? Someone doesn't have it?
I would say that's the best if you're looking at maybe sea salt, but I would say that would be the best. And there are other, like as I said, there's this company LMNT Element. So they have flavored salts. You could probably find them on Amazon as well. And there's a lot of companies coming out with water and salt. Like in like, like a bottle like that, and it's just water and salt. Like it's hilarious, but it's true.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you've all enjoyed tonight's call. I've actually put Tamara's page in our chat group for all of you who want to see the inspirational page that she has, all of her amazing accolades, what I call the beach body dream. She is my mentor and coach in the health and wellness and in my personal training. I've been working out with her for the past 3 years through a Zoom, just like this. And tonight's call was meant to inspire all of you as we do our 30-day health challenge, which August the 12th, so we got one more week to still go. August the 12th, we'll be announcing 3 winners. If you haven't watched the video on the different ways, it's the most creative, it's the most inspiring, and the person that does the most amount of posts, you still have time to do your post and to win. And we're giving away cash prizes that's going to be deposited for all of you to be able to go and enjoy a shopping spree, because we want you to all live a healthier lifestyle. And Tamara, I want to take this time to really thank you for just inspiring us tonight, sharing so many golden nuggets, as I call them, with everybody, and being an inspiration for me. Thank you for mentoring me and my journey. Thank you for my weight loss journey. By the way, I don't have this on screen, but I do want to share with all of you very, very quickly something that I actually found in working with Tamara for a picture of me. And are you guys ready to see my before picture? Can you guys all see that? Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can. That was me at my heaviest weight. And oh my goodness, Tamara has helped me to lose almost, I would say almost 100 pounds in my journey in the past 3 years. It has been phenomenal. I've lost so much weight that people thought I had surgery, and I have not had surgery. I've just been working out with Tamara. She is my witness every single week, 3 times a week.
Yes, 3 times a week. It's awesome. We have so much fun. Well, at least I do.
So do I. And you know what? What I'm so proud of is I've built so much muscle. And I wish I could take out my blazer right now and like flex and show you all, but I've built so much muscle in my legs, in my back, in my shoulders. And now when I go to parties, I get so many compliments and people say, oh my God, you have such nice arms. And Tamara, last but not least, we've gone way over, and I do apologize to everyone. I think the key has been for me not giving up, even on the days I do want to give up. Staying committed, find a mentor, be determined, and go for your target. So I want to thank you for your help and support. Closing words from yourself, please.
Well, thank you for showing up for you, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm so thrilled to be here, and would love to answer any other questions if anyone ever wants to contact me. I think you were going to put some contact somewhere, but
I did.
Iconic Physique on Instagram in the DMs. I'm happy to answer anyone's questions, and I'm just so passionate about what I do, and I just want to share it. And I'm so proud of you, because you have come a long way. Like, I actually can't believe that you love working out now. Sometimes I didn't know if you liked me, but
No, I've always loved you. I just didn't like working out. You
I
are,
I know.
and I'll tell you guys something really funny. Tamara is really sweet, as you can see, but sometimes I want to give up and I'm just like, I can't. And she's like, you're at 8, you got a couple more, let's go 9. And she just completely ignores the fact that I'm like panting and like, and she keeps on pushing and pushing. And I think that's what a great coach does.
Yes.
Pushes you out of your comfort zone, pushes you when you want to give up. And so it's really, really important, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's weight loss, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's business, whether it's becoming, successful at what you do, find someone that you look up to, find a great coach like I have with Tamara. And you know what? She is amazing. I would highly, highly recommend. You can go on her page and check her out yourself. And I want to really thank you for all of the mentorship coaching that you provided us. Tonight's call should have been like a charge of $1,000 for everyone with all the golden nuggets that we got. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for being my coach and helping me in my journey. I'm so happy. Yes. By the way, I don't know if you know, on Zoom, if you actually do this,
Yeah.
it gives you an emoji heart, but I don't know how it works. Yeah, you got to do this and it just gives you emoji heart. So with that, I want to say thank you to everyone for being on tonight. We hope you've enjoyed them, enjoyed this amazing call. And once again, Tamara, I want to really thank you for being on with us as well. Don't forget, we have our forensic call happening tomorrow night with our founder and CEO. Tomorrow, you got a treat because we have our social media team that are going to give you golden nuggets and teach you more about how you can become active on social media. So don't forget, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tamara, thank you again for all of your time and your blessings. And see you on Wednesday morning.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care.
All the comments,
Night, guys.
from everyone.
Wish I could see all your beautiful faces.
Yes,
hearts. I see the hearts.
You see the hearts, and if you click on the chat, you will be seeing all of the messages that everyone is leaving you. Everyone just had such a phenomenal time. They loved your training. They loved your energy. And as you can see, everyone's giving you emojis. So ladies and gentlemen, Tamara can see the emojis. Give her your love with the emojis that are right at the bottom with all of your amazing hearts. Because Opulence is literally just loving everything that you shared. And as you can see now, the hearts are flying for you because everyone truly enjoyed all the inspirational golden nuggets that you gave each and every single one of us tonight. So thank you again, Tamara.
My pleasure. And start lifting heavy, guys. You can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you so much, Tamara.
Good night.
Good night, sweetheart. Take care.
My pleasure. You too.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, my dear Mavis, I will pass it over to you to close our call, sweetheart.
And tonight we had our inspirational Tamara with us, which we all, I'm sure, enjoyed and took lots of notes. So thank you, everyone.